Hello, welcome to AllCBTs again today. My name is David, and in today's special video, we want to take business studies education or business studies management. We've done the objective where we covered about 30 to 40 top likely questions that you should encounter in your business studies um, assessments, covering all kinds of exams within the O-level category. But for this video, I'm going to take likely theory questions, essay questions that you should encounter in these kinds of exams. You know, your business studies, you'll be tested on objectives and essay. So I've done the objectives for you. You can go to the channel to watch that very detailed objective questions. Now I want to take 15 top essay questions that you would find across board in all business studies assessments. So sit down with me and pay rapt attention. And if you have questions, please use the comment section and let's interact. All right. And if this is your first time or you are yet to be subscribed to the channel, I think you should do so now by smashing the subscribe button. Why? So that when we make updates to these questions and new uploads, you'll be notified by YouTube and you can come and watch as you prepare for your upcoming exam. Now, let's get right into it. Question 1. Explain 5 functions of a business plan to an entrepreneur. First of all, we have 2 keywords there, business plan, and then you have entrepreneur. What's a business plan? A business plan, just as the name implies, is a plan that is showing the structure of a business. This is where we are as a business, and this is where we are going as a business. That's simply what a business plan is. So that understanding, that idea I've given you, put it in a constructive, articulated definition if you are asked to define what a business plan is. Now, it says to an entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who uses the factors of production to make profits, right? So, you know, we have factors of production that includes land, capital, labor, and entrepreneur being the 4th factor of production. So the entrepreneur used the other 3 factors of production, the land, the labor, and the capital, either his own personal money, money from investment, loans, or whatever it is, brings all these things together to make profit. Now the question, explain 5 functions of a business plan to an entrepreneur. Now I've given you what a business plan is. It's a model, a script, a strategy, okay, that shows where a business is and where the business is going. Now, what is the use of that business plan to an entrepreneur? I made 5 answers. Let's look at them. It says 1, it guides the business operation because it outlines. Look at those keywords. Those are keywords I mentioned earlier. Strategies. It guides the business operation because it outlines strategies and goals. This is where we are, and this is what we are projecting. This is where we're going. So those are your goals. 2, it attracts investors. If you want anybody to invest into your business, you have to show them your business plan. They're going to require your business plan. All right? So they want to see where you are and where you're going. So it attracts investors who need clear evidence of viability. What is viability? Who needs clear evidence that you know where you are going and that your business idea is profitable, even maybe not now, in the long run. Then 3, it helps in securing loans. If you want to get loan in any financial institution, you must have a business plan. It's one of the requirements, apart from your, of course, your business registration certificate and all the other licenses relating to the type of business you do. You must have a business plan. And then 4th, it reduces risk through proper forecasting and planning. Yes, because you have proper plan, grand plan of 2 years, of 3 years, of 5 years, of 10 years in the form of a business plan, you don't just do things haphazardly. It reduces the risk because there is planning ahead. And then the fifth one, it provides performance benchmark for evaluating progress. Yes, through your business plan, you're able to know this is where we are, this is where we are targeting to be in 2 years, in 3 years, this is where we want to be in 5 years. So there are benchmarks, and you can assess yourself. And using these benchmarks, you can assess your team and know, okay, this is where we are going, we are short, or we are actually on course, right? So those are the 5 functions of a business plan to an entrepreneur or a business person. Question 2 now, a likely question that you would encounter in your business study exam. Identify and explain 5 factors that influence the location of a business. Now, this is going to be a nice one for you because some of you are already into one business or another. Some of you are doing business on your WhatsApp. Some of you are selling something on TikTok. And some of you, of course, work with your parents to sell things. You go to your mom's shop, your dad's shop. So, what are 5 factors that should be considered before you cite a business in a location? Before you say, okay, this location is okay for this type of business that I want to put here. That's what the question is about. 5 factors, 5 things that you must consider before you cite the location of a business. Let's see. Number 1, how close is it to raw material? That's what proximity is. How close is it to the materials that you need to run the business? How close is it? Is it too far? If it's too far, then you spend a lot of money trying to get raw materials. At the end of the day, you might not make a lot of profit. Number 2, how close is it to your market? Your market doesn't mean like Aswani market or Jaut market or Katangwa market. It just means your audience, the people who would purchase of your goods. How close are you to them? Are they in your area? Are you getting it? It's like somebody who cites a shop for used clothes at Lekki, or cites a shop for used clothes in the area of Banana Island. It's not going to sell. You're not going to sell because your market is far from there. The people who live on Banana Island, most of them will not use used clothes. They'll buy clothes and order online. They used new clothes. So now that kind of market would suffer some challenge. It's not like there are no persons who are interested in that market, but that market is far from its target audience. So such markets that want to thrive should sell foreign clothes, grade A clothes. Do you understand that now? So nearness to markets, availability of labor, also the people that you need, teamwork that you need to function or to get that business to work, are they around? You see, I'm giving you ideas that you need to answer this question. And then government policies such as tax incentive or restriction before you cite your business in a particular location. And then infrastructure, you want to consider electricity, water. If you need water to run your business, you need to consider that. That should be important. And then good road, the road network, to ensure that you are able to move. There is very little or no interference to the success of your business. So that is what 5 factors that influences the location of a business. Then question 3, state and explain 5 functions of the retailer in the chain of distribution. Now, what is the chain of distribution? You have the manufacturers. They are on top. The manufacturers create the product. You can also call them producers. And then manufacturers, you have what? You have the wholesalers. The wholesalers are the bulk. They're like the ones who collect, or who are like the sole distributors of the manufacturers. Okay, so they retail the products of the manufacturers in bulk, in very large bulk. So you have wholesalers, right? Then you have the retailers. So the retailers now get the products from the wholesalers. See, In a country, let's say a manufacturer like Honda producing Honda cars. In Nigeria as a country, they may have just about 5 wholesalers. Then these 5 wholesalers will now have about retailers. So many, maybe even in their thousands. Okay, that would buy the product in little quantities from them. All these Honda shops you see that sell bikes, that sell tricycles beside the roads are all retailers. They buy in little quantities. Whereas all those Honda manufacturing plants you see very large plants, those are wholesalers. They are directly engaged with the producers, the manufacturers of the product. And then the last, after the retailers, the last will now be the consumers. That's you using the product. So what are the functions of the retailers? Third level in the chain of distribution. One, they buy large quantity and sell in small units. So they buy large quantity from the wholesalers and then they retail in small units. Then they are able to provide variety of goods to consumers. So they buy from this, they have from this, they have from this, they have from this. For example, you go to a store like Just Right or a store like Jendor, which are big retailers. So they buy from a lot of wholesalers and then they have varieties. So offer after sales service such as repairs or advice. Yes, they do that, especially when you are buying tools or gadgets. And then advertising products on behalf of producers. You see, the producers don't even, many times when you are watching a video on YouTube, you see an advert by Jumia. They're actually promoting or advertising a product of a manufacturer. They don't produce any of those products, but they're advertising them because in the sales of those products, they will make profits, right? So they advertise products on behalf of the producers and they provide market information to wholesalers and manufacturers. They are like in between the consumers and the higher level of distribution. Question 4 now. Discuss 5 importance of bookkeeping to a business. What is bookkeeping? It's just keeping proper records. Okay, keeping proper records of business transactions or business activities of a business, the activities of a business, the transactions of a business. That's simply what bookkeeping is. Now, what are the importance of bookkeeping? It will help to track income and expenses. Of course, it provides accurate financial records. Then it facilitates tax assessments. When you want to pay your tax, you can look at what came in, your credit and your debit. You are able to deduct and make your profit to come about your profit, and then you are able to pay your tax based on your inflow. Then it helps you to make decision making because you have everything on record, and then it helps to detect fraud. You can know, oh, a staff is ripping off the company, or we are making too much loss in this or that area, and you are able to fix that. So that's the advantage of bookkeeping. There is no organization who makes progress who does not keep proper records on book, not in your head, in the book. Good. Question 6 now. Explain 5 characteristics of a sole proprietorship or of a sole proprietor. Now, what is sole proprietor? If you don't know who a sole proprietor is, you wouldn't be able to explain or give characteristics of a sole proprietor. So you have sole proprietor. If you like, you can say sole proprietor is a one-man kind of business operation. A person who owns a business, runs the business, and bears the risk of the business on his own or her own. So I own the business, I run the business, I bear 100% risk on the business. If the business succeeds, it's all on me. If the business fails, it's all on me. We are not 2 or 3, as in the case of partnership or limited liability or public liability or whatever. It's all on me. So that is what a sole proprietorship is in explanation. Now, let's look at the characteristics of a sole proprietorship business. Like I mentioned, one, it's owned by one person, me, myself. Two, the owner provides all the capital. What's the capital? The money that is needed to run, maintain, or manage the business. Three, unlimited liability for debt, meaning that if I run into debt, I bear all the liabilities. Okay. Four, simple formation with minimal legal requirements, meaning that I don't need a lot of documentation to register my business. For example, you who have registered your business, who probably is watching this video, or your parents who runs a shop, your dad is a trader, or your mom has a shop. What are the documents she has on that shop? Most of the time, it's only a CAC certificate. See, then if it's probably a medical institution, she might now need 1 or 2 licenses, which is just general. But when it has to now do with a corporation, a LLC, a limited liability company, then you start requiring directors. You start requiring several documentations. But in this case, because it's one man, it's not like that. Look at number 5. The owner takes all the profit and bears all the losses. He's not sharing the money with anybody. The money belongs to him. Also, the losses of the company belongs to him. If the company crashes, it's all on him. Good. Question 6. Identify 5 problems faced by small-scale businesses in Nigeria and explain each of them. So, what are the problems that are faced by small-scale businesses? What are small-scale businesses? Businesses, that are just coming up, just growing. Businesses that are within a particular amount of money. Businesses with little or with less than 50 staff are still small scale. Yes, in a context. In some other context, you don't really need, there are so many new businesses, new generational businesses that are into the IT space that don't really need a lot of physical or human manpower. And yet will still generate a lot of wave profitability, right? So that's why I said in a way, that's no longer the measure. The amount of staffing the company has is no longer the measure to determine if it is big or small. It's based on how profitable and the assets of the company. Okay. So identify 5 problems that small scale businesses in Nigeria are facing. Explain each of them. 1, limited capital. They don't have much because most of small scale businesses in Nigeria is one man. So they don't have enough. They don't have too much to run the business. And then to access a loan is difficult for many of these one-man businesses in Nigeria. They have to go to the likes of loan sharks, which I will not mention their names, who are not lenient at all. They'll suck them. Some of you know what I'm talking about. So limited capital is faced by many businesses, small businesses in Nigeria. Then poor management skills is also a problem. Most small businesses don't know about management. Most of them don't know about advertising. Most of them don't know about out of scale, and that affects them. 3, unstable power supply. So these are problems in case you meet these questions. Bad roads, problems, part of problems. Lack of social amenities, a part of problems. Poor infrastructure, a part of problems. Just forget about my notes and just let your mind wander and think about the problems that you face. If you are facing those problems, small businesses are facing them too. Or you can reason with your parents and let them give you. I'm sure they have a page full of problems that they face. Those of them, especially who are traders. So high competition from bigger firms. Yes, it's a real problem. It's a real problem. For example, smaller stores. Now, a lot of smaller stores that sell provisions and day-to-day varieties are closing up. Why? Because larger stores are moving to that community. And when larger stores like Jendol or Just Right, ShopRite move to a community, what do you think happens to all the small stores there? They will soon begin to pack up because most persons would like to buy from the big stores because they think it will be cheaper there. And sometimes it is. So high competitions, they are not able to cope. Then poor infrastructures such as bad roads. See, these are many problems that affect small scale businesses in Nigeria. Then you may be asked to explain. So just give a brief explanation. One sentence is enough. Then question 7. Oh, I wrote 6 two times. So this is 7. Mention and explain 5 advantages of division of labor. What is division of labor? Division of labor is dividing jobs and tasks, sharing jobs and tasks into smaller bits or into specialized sections. Let me give you an example. Nigeria just played a match against Congo, yeah, and lost. Now, in that field, on the Nigerian side, you have 11 players. One person is the goalkeeper. Some other persons are the defenders. Some persons are the midfielder that liaising between the strikers and the defense. And then there is a striker. There is the coach. See, there are a lot of sections that make up this team. The goalkeeper cannot be trying to score, and you have a disorganized team. So that's what division of labor is. Everybody, a team that is breaking into bits, but the whole team working as a whole to accomplish a specific objective or purpose. So, what are the advantages? Why is it good to have division of labor? One, it increases productivity because workers work in their area of specialty. It makes productivity to be on the increase. For example, Osimhen can score goals faster because he's staying in the striker position. He's not running from back to the front and front to the back. So he's likely able to score more goals. Then time is saved when tasks are repeated frequently. Higher quality outputs due to expertise. Because Nwabali, the goalkeeper, is not trying to be the striker at the same time. He gains expertise because he's focused on keeping, being a goalkeeper. He's not thinking about scoring. So he becomes an expert in that area. Then you have less training required for specific tasks. He's good at it already. Innovations as workers develop skills in specific tasks. See, so these are some of the points you can add to your answer to give you or develop a more robust thoughts. Question next. Describe 5 functions of a secretary in an office. Who is a secretary? And what do they do? 1. They prepare and handle correspondence. Correspondence are conversations moving in and out of the office. Coming into the office, going out of the office. The secretary that manages the correspondence of the company. Then they organize meetings and take minutes. Because their job is to keep records and to ensure that they are on tools with everything that is going in and out, internal and external. You know, they will also liaise with external affairs. They will liaise with internal boards, management boards. See, so the secretary is often like at the focal point, the middle point. They are liaising with external affairs. They are also managing internal affairs, managing management, managing staff at all levels. The secretary. Some organizations also call them the HRs. Okay. So there is HRs in some organizations. There is still secretary in some organizations. For some organizations, there are no secretaries. There are admin staffs that now reports to HRs based on the capacity of the company. So organize meetings and take minutes, manage office records, receive visitors and answer calls, file and safekeep documents. These are the work or the job of secretaries. In smaller organizations, smaller office settings, you may call them office assistants. In larger office settings, you call them secretaries. In way bigger office settings, they can be admin staffs or HR, human resource. Is this clear? Please don't forget that if you have questions, I'm happy to discuss these questions with you in the comment section. And if you are enjoying the video, I wish you give it a like, a thumbs up to show that the content is good enough. Now, question 8. Explain 5 importance of transportation in commerce. What are the importance of transportation? Obviously, you know that if there is no transportation, how do you do the proper commerce? Because what is commerce? It is simply moving the goods from the manufacturer to the consumer, or from the supplier to the consumer. That's what commerce is. Buying and selling. The consumer is buying, the supplier is selling. And who will move the goods? That is the transport network. Maybe the dispatch rider, the courier service. So if there is no transportation network, what will happen? Then there is no commerce. Let's look at the points I noted. 1. Facilitate movement of goods and people. 2. Enhance trades across regions. 3. Reduce delay. 4. Enable mass production by linking producer to market. 5. Increase the variety of goods available in the markets. These are some of the points you can relate. Alright, always let your mind go broad when you are trying to articulate, you are gathering thoughts as you answer. Question 9. Mention 5 methods of payment used in business transaction and explain each of them. 5 methods of payment. Of course, you know some of them. You know the bank transfer, right? Bank transfer is a mode of payment. Cash deposit is a mode of payment. Let's see the ones I have here. Okay. 1, we have cash. Okay, cash is a mode of payment. You can pay by cash, but cash is only useful for small amounts of business. You cannot want to buy a mechanical generator that's about 7 million. You go there with cash. They will probably not accept it from you. So cash, check is a mode of payment. Check is also used for large amount of money. Then bank transfer, mode of payment. Postal order, mode of payment. Payment through the postal office. Like all these DHL and all these guys, FedEx, they use this a lot. And then mobile money, using your phone to move money, mode of payment. 12. Explain 5 features of partnership business. Good. First of all, what's a partnership business? A partnership business is a business where 2 to 20 people come together to divide the risk and reward of a company. They come together to work towards the growth of the company. They share the risk, they share the profits. In whatever percentage is now left to them, it is often a legalized deal. So okay, you and I and this other man, we are going into a partnership kind of business on importation and distribution of generators. We are going to share the profits in this as follows. So there was often a legal document to back it up. Okay. So let's see. What's a partnership business? As I said, formed by 2 to 20 persons. Partners share profit and loss, of course, not just profit, loss too. Governed by a partnership deed. What is a partnership deed? Legal documents. Everything they do must be within as stipulated on that deed. Capital is contributed jointly. Some partners may have limited liability, so that's it. And then next, identify 5 functions of advertising in business. Why do we advertise? Is it good? Some of you sell things on social media. Why are you advertising? You can just think about it and put it down. Identify 5 functions. See, 1 is create product awareness. Persons who didn't know that you have that product before, they know now. 2, it persuades customers to buy. As people see it often and often and often, they are persuaded to buy. It increases your sale volume, how much is coming into your purse. It helps to introduce new products. It builds a company brand image. All these are some of the advantage of advertising. Question 14. List and explain 5 types of office equipment used in a modern office. These are simple questions for you. You mustn't miss them. Of course, you have the photocopier, you have the printer, Let's see some of them. 1, you have the computer system, laptop, desktop, as the case might be. You have printer, you have photocopier, you have scanner, you have telephone. In some other offices, you will have internet, modem. Yes, they are all office equipment. So there are still others, but these are like general ones that you find in basically all offices. Then 15, mention 5 roles of government in business development. And this is our final question. 1, what is the role of government? Does government have a role to play in the growth of businesses? Yes, they do. Even though most governments in Africa are irresponsible, they do not play. They have little or no effect except to collect tax rather, and to request all manners of levies. But government are supposed to have a role to play in business growth. What are some of them? 1, provision of infrastructure. They are supposed to ensure that road, water, electricity, all of these assets, infrastructures are in place for business to thrive in a place. 2, they are supposed to give tax incentive. So you have been paying your tax now for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years. Okay, we are giving you this amount off. Working governments do. Then legal framework, they're supposed to put laws that helps the business, not kill the business, not stretch the business or dry the business. Then provision of loan or grants to support businesses. It is the function of government to produce or to provide loans or grants. What are grants? You don't pay back grants. Loans, you pay back. For small businesses, okay. Grants, an example of grants. Every young person within the age of 15 to 25 or 30 years old that has business idea, come to such and such a place and pitch your idea. And then the government says, oh, these 20 ideas, really good ideas. And then how much do you need to run your own 5 minutes to take? How much do you need to? Not paying back, you're not paying back. They may set up a body for you to report on how you spent the money though. So that's grants. It should be in a working society. And then protection of local industries through tariffs. We studied this in civic education, so you might go and watch that video. Tariffs. What is the importance of tariffs and why should the government impose tariffs? As you can see here, it protects local industries. That's what Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is doing. Many people think it's stupid, but it's really, really, really smart. And I support him because all he's trying to do is to what? Protect the local industries in the United States. So he's trying to protect the local industry in the United States. It's okay, all of you are producing from all these other countries. You want to import your products into the US. It's okay, we are happy to do that because we can't reject your product, else there will be trade war. But in order for us to receive your product, we are going to add 100%. Say your product is supposed to be sold in the country for 150 naira. It's not $150. It's not going to be sold for $300. That way is discouraging US users, citizens, from buying the products that are being imported into the country, so that they can go for the ones that are produced by local sellers that are probably $100. You see, so you put tariffs on imports so that local companies can thrive. It's a smart move. It may cause inflation in some cases if not well managed though. So, and there we have it for the 15 likely top questions you would encounter in your business studies management assessments. I hope you do enjoy this video. If you have questions again, remember to use the comment section. If you want to practice objectives or similar exams or similar questions to this, please use our apps. You will find a link to download them in the description of this video. It's free. Go download and begin to practice hundreds of questions. And also, we have a live Telegram community right now on our Telegram page. So you would also see the link to connect to that Telegram page. It's free and you begin to get news on the go and school updates so you never miss out on any updates regarding your school. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao,